opened up SIMM after coming to a realization one day. I had been watching TED, if you're familiar with TED videos, and there were two videos that I watched sequentially. And one was by Gary Vaynerchuk, and the title of it was Do What You Love, No Excuses. And it was kind of a really eye-opening message that he had about what people should really do with their lives and what they should not do, more importantly. So there was that video, and then the second video, which was by Simon Sinek, and I don't recall the title offhand, but the message was, people don't care what you do, they care why you do it. And so with those two, I kind of formulated an idea of what do I love to do, what am I good at, and what do I do kind of anyway. And I'd been a video game collector and a hobbyist for about 10 years at that point, and I decided that my collection really wasn't doing me a whole lot of good, just kind of sitting there. I mean, it looked really cool, but I didn't play all the games, and all the games didn't really mean something. I didn't play all of them as a child, so I didn't really have nostalgic feelings or memories of all these games. So I decided that the collection that I had amassed would be far better served with people using it consistently and on a regular basis. So I did a little bit of research and found out that there were professional collectors in the world, and they are part of museums. So I started the museum, and when I did that, I donated my whole collection to it, and now we're here. Favorite video game system has to be the Sega Dreamcast. Why? When the Dreamcast came out, the software titles that they made for it were just a step above everything else out there, really, that was on the market, mostly because they were just arcade ports with very little changed. So it was, copy and paste of the code base and you're good to go. Also, Sega was really trying to do a lot of innovative things at the time, and they were trying to be first. Well, not first, that's wrong. But they were really just trying to, they were willing to take risks, and I can appreciate that, much more so than not.
Like a sound you hear that lingers in your ear, but you can't forget from sundown to sunset. Nah, nah. It's all in the air, you hear it everywhere. No matter what you do, it's gonna grab a hold on you. California soul, California soul, California soul.
I can definitely say that modern gaming has not lost ingenuity. Certainly not. The major difference between games of the past and games of the modern day, and even games that we're going to see, going on more so in the future, is that back in the day, the graphics just weren't as good because we didn't have the raw power to be able to push that kind of that type of graphics out, and people had to fill in with their own minds about what that scene really was. You play Pitfall, and you really have to imagine those alligators with their teeth, chomping at Pitfall Harry, and you're on the vine, and I mean that vine is covered in all sorts of leaves, and it's really twisted, and you just grab it on. Whereas games today, they really just kind of say, here, this is exactly what you should be looking at, and this is all the information you need. Save for some of these indie titles that come out, it's really just kind of a difference in of course graphics, but in the way that people interpret the game and the level of immersion, or pardon me, the type of immersion that they feel. With games like Pitfall or Missile Command, I mean, you really assume a position. It's like you're there and you have to fill in all of the intricacies. And adding that level provides just more depth to the game, more depth to the experience if you can really imagine those things and fill in all those gaps. Whereas games today really just kind of really want to serve you all of the graphics on a silver platter. And so you don't have to think as much about that.